One question I often get asked in digital marketing training is, well, what is the difference between digital marketing and traditional marketing? We have a digital department, but we don't have a traditional marketing department. So I just wanted to share a little bit of a perspective in terms of how we may want to think about aligning digital within an integrated marketing fashion. And I think part of the history of this is that when digital started to really become a high priority for a lot of different organizations. They set up digital marketing as a silo that was working in many ways independently from the rest of the marketing organization. And so you had, in some cases, a marketing department on the digital side that have a different set of objectives, of strategies and tactics. And in some cases, not only did those not be informed by or aligned to what might be happening on the traditional side of the business, but in many cases they might be competing with each other. And so this sort of schism was happening in terms of a separation between traditional and digital marketing. What happened from there is that a lot of organizations started to understand the complications that were arising from this split between digital marketing and traditional marketing. And so what we started to see was this trend to bringing digital marketing capabilities into a overall integrated marketing group. And so on one hand, it seemed like it was a lot more integrated, but what was happening at the time with a lot of organizations was that digital was really pushed quite far downstream, and so it was always the role was always around kind of tactical support for a traditional marketing idea. And so while these pieces may have looked similar and acted in complement with each other, it was really a move that started to really not unlock the opportunity that digital had because it was always thought about in very executional terms. So where many organizations are moving to is a real balance here, is to have a philosophy around how digital can best support an integrated marketing program, how that aligns to overall marketing and business objectives, and that could be activated by a mix of traditional and digital marketing. But while this looks very clean and simple in a pyramid diagram, it really puts pressure on the organization in two ways. One, do you have enough upstream digital thinking at the idea stage, so you're not just thinking about digital in an executional way? And two, do you have enough skill set and capacity when we start to plan and manage and run digital marketing campaigns to be able to execute with excellence? And so I think this is the model that a lot of organizations are moving to have alignment around overall marketing goals, to be able to have a integrated marketing strategy that everything ladders to, that it's informed by digital, but then supported by an integrated marketing team with digital marketing specialists that can execute with excellence. And while marketing organizations are focused on integrating digital into the bigger picture, the real reason and the driving force around why it's so important to be able to focus on this is not so much internal as it is external. Thinking about your customers and the audiences that you're serving, they're zigzagging across different channels on their own terms. And to be able to build brand equity and provide them with a great experience, you need to be able to do that over channels, traditional channels or digital channels, as they bounce around on their own terms over time. And to be able to serve these customers that may interact with you across channels over time, there's a real pressure placed on organizations to transform across three different areas. The first is around skill set and making sure that you have greater in-house capabilities around really fundamental skills to be able to plan and manage a lot of these digital marketing programs, specifically around data science and business planning and user experience design.
Also, tool sets, and these can span from different tool sets like planning frameworks or actual software that your teams might be using to be able to manage a lot of the campaigns that you have in market. And then, last but not least, mindset. I think this is probably one of the most challenging shifts that a lot of organizations are facing, where they need to be a lot more nimble, a lot more always on, a lot more collaborative with a lot of different other parts of the business to be able to manage and optimize programs in a much more flexible way than perhaps they used to even just a couple of years ago. So we've gone through a fair bit of change over the last 20 years, incorporating digital into marketing organizations and thinking through the opportunity that it presents for our brands. Before we go on to the next slide, you may just want to pause here and think about what are some of the changes that you've seen happen in your own career.